Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Dirty Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of a knife, a prototype that Tri-State EDC, yeah, Cole allowed me to check out, the Tristache. Alright, today I'm checking out the Tristache from Cole, who does the channel Tri-State EDC. If you haven't had a chance to check out his channel, there'll be a link down below for his channel, but also a link for this that was being sold on BladeBinge. Now, they had a pre-order, and I'll just heads up, it sold out pretty fast. So they closed it and what have you. But they may have some extras coming in for a drop when it eventually gets dropped. It's supposed to come in around Christmas, I believe, the end of December, maybe early January. We'll see where it's at. The knife name is called a Tristache, and it's the knife manufacturer is Bestech, who's the OEM producing the knife, and the designer is Cole from Tri-State EDC. He is the one who created the knife. Very, very cool knife. What are the materials? This is a titanium knife. Now he's going to have a silver surfer, if you will, and this is the all blacked out version. And I think if you bought two, you could make your own little stormtrooper if you wanted to, right? I think at the drop they may have a stormtrooper version of this, which is going to be kind of cool. You know, it's up to you if you like that. I chose the Silver Surfer for my pre-order, so that's the one I'm going to be getting. The one I got to check out is the all blacked out version, which is really nice, by the way, for a blacked out version. I like it. This is PVD. It's not DLC, just so you're aware, but still really holds up really well. So I'm very impressed with it. It's not, yeah, it's not like, you know, cheap PVD. It feels really solid. It feels really, holds up really well from anything. Just, you know, I've only cut the paper. This is a prototype. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy. I don't disassemble the knife. I'm not going to do anything like that with it. Just a really cool knife. The material's titanium handle. It is a frame lock. Now you notice there's a button on here. Now that button, let me show you. I'm going to open up. Here's the frame lock engaging on the tang of the blade. Now watch happens when you press the button here on this one. This one does disengage the frame. So do you see that? I'm going to hold it here. You disengage the frame lock. You see that? So that is a button. It's called a button frame lock. So this is a button frame lock. It's kind of like if this was a liner lock and it was inside scales, it would be what we call a compression lock or a top liner lock. Spyderco came up with that compression lock the first time, patented, and that patent ran out. And so now it's available to everybody, but you can do this with the frame lock. So it works the same, except the frame is exposed. It's not inside scales. Really nice. I like that. It gives you multiple openings. So you have this flipper right here, which doesn't stick up and is super pokey. It is a little square, but really easy to flip, and you can obviously do the knuckle reverse. You know, I think, can you? Yeah, you can do the front one. I don't have as much longer. Let me see, can I? Yeah, I can do it. I don't think I can clear it fast enough. No, I can't. My fingers, you got to clear that first to get past all of that. So you could do that, right? You have the thumb hole. That works well for the thumb flick, and then the reverse flick works really well. You can get your whole finger in there, the meat of your finger, whatever. Just a little tip of your finger in there, it works. It's not a giant thumb hole, so if you've got big, giant, meaty fingers like me, I'm just getting the meat of my finger in there. That's, oops, sorry, I'm trying to show you slowly. And then you lock and engage it like that. So, and the reverse works really well. The clips right here, I can hold the thumb on the clip, or I can have my finger up high like this, and let me get up here like this, and I can reverse flick it like this. Of course, if you put your hand on the lock bar itself, it is going to be a little more challenging because you are essentially locking it down. So that's why I want to hold it up here a little bit like that. Usually when I do it, the top one, I'm up here like this, and then my thumb is holding it like that since I have no clip on this side. The easier way sometimes for people to do that is hold the thumb on the clip and then do it like that. And that works too, right? So I got a nice reverse flick. I can do the knuckle flick on this side. I can do the thumb flick on this side. That works really well, right? Do the reverse flick. I can do the thumb flick. Then you can do the slow roll if you want it to do that. And then of course you have the little subtle one. You have that lock and unlock. So you can kind of deal like a button lock, right? So I can disengage and open it like that if I want it to as well. So that makes it really nice. You know, you've kind of got a button lock, and you still have that, and then you can squeeze down and it locks it, engage it. This is definitely much stronger and much more engaged on the tang of the blade. It's not like a fixed blade, right? So don't go doing fixed blade stuff with this. I still recommend have the right tool for the right job, but it definitely will hold up really well. The titanium is milled. You can see on the inside, it's kind of hard to see because it's so darked out. Maybe I can get my flashlight. I just want to show you that it's really worth seeing because they did a really nice job. So you see the milling here. The lock bar itself is milled here, but on the very bottom you'll see the milling, but you see it really well over here. So there's milling right there and milling right back there. Oh, sorry, I'm not. Let me do it on the right side. The milling is really drastic on the inside. You almost can't even see the lines because it's milled so well. So really nice, nice. All right, we're dealing with a titanium clip. It is milled. It has a nice engagement, and if you notice, it's a little flat underneath the clip itself, so that's nice. It's not going to grab on this texture. It's not going to be a pocket shredder. I think in my unboxing I missed that, and that's really nice little touch. This right here is taken care of. This is not super sharp. It's not going to be a pocket shredder either. I like that. Everything is so nicely rounded all the way around it. And there's even a little chamfering right here where when you do a choke up, really, really like that. You've got jimping that extends all the way out. Not super aggressive. You push down with the skin, it's going to engage. Now, if you have thick, giant gloves, yeah, you know, it's not going to be as strong, but this will engage really well. Finger choil is generous, easy to work with, hollow grind. The blade seal on this is S90V blade seal, so you're dealing with CPM S90V, which is great edge retention. Not incredibly tough. You're not going to be whacking like 3V or MagnaCut, but still great for what this is intended to be, a slicer. Beautiful pokey tip right there. I mean, with this, I would call this it's a Wharncliffe to me, but it could be, you know, argued as a sheep's foot in some ways, and modified sheepfoot, tanto, whatever you want to call it. It's a modified blade. We can call it a modified Wharncliffe, modified sheep's foot. And the reason why the sheep's foot, you get a little rounded corner here. The tanto, you got a corner there. I mean, there's an argument there, and it's flat here, which really brings it back to the Wharncliffe as opposed to the sheep's foot, because it's supposed to have. Anyways, you know, whatever it's fine. All T8. I think somebody might have said that wasn't T8. It might be T10. Let me double check that. I thought it was T. So here's T8 right here. Let's check that. So that's, and let me do T10 here. Yeah, it's definitely T8. T8 hardware, maybe they're talking about another knife. Maybe I heard somebody making a comment about another knife. Sorry. All T8 hardware all the way around for the clip and everything. I love the fact this clip works really nice. Got great retention. It's nice springy, which means easy in and out of the pocket. I love the roundedness. It's not just chamfered. It's rounded, and that's a nice touch. Even though it's flat and a little square, you're not contouring it, that rounded corners makes this so comfortable. Makes it really, really, really comfortable. Nice and rounded clip here. It does have a little kind of a little pokey there, but it matches the aesthetic of the knife. It kind of follows, if you will, the shape of the blade, and I get it. If you look at this, the overall design, you see that? You got the little kind of shape and blade, and so it has a beautiful aesthetic. The nice thing is I'm going to get the non-blacked out version, and if I find that digging in anywhere, because I didn't really find it digging in here, but if it bothers me at any point, I can always soften that a little bit when you get the plain tie one. You know, on the black, you can't, not so much. But it is very soft. It's not sharp. It doesn't dig in. I've had some that dug in really, really badly. And I actually had to, and it was even black titanium anodized, and I had to polish the tip because it was just too pokey. It cut my hand when I was reaching in. This doesn't do that. It's really nice. And so, I mean, this is just a personal gripe. It's not a preference. I mean, it's a preference. It's not really, it's not an issue. For most people, no one would really care. They would feel it's perfectly fine. And quite frankly, it really is. So he took care of all sharp edges all around, which I thought was outstanding. So titanium handles, beautiful black PVD, nice back spacer. It actually gives you some jimping, some texture. So if you're doing like a push cut or you're doing a pull cut, you get a little extra grip, a little texture up there, right? You're doing a pull cut through cardboard, plastic, leather, whatever. You're working on some leather goods, maybe you make leather slips or bags or whatever. This is a great hollow grind, very sharp blade. You can absolutely use that. S90V really retains its edge well. It's got a nice thin edge. It looks like it's super, like maybe 25 degree angle when you look at that, but it is super hollow grind, and it comes to a super thin edge down here, and it's not super thick on top. I think we're looking at 120 thousandths, maybe between 110, 120 thousandths, I'm going to guess. We'll measure here. We'll get the measurements just in a second, right? But caged ceramic ball bearings, oops, sorry, don't get in the way. Caged ceramic ball bearings right here. Opens up, locks really well when you do this, right? You can also do the slow roll, right? I can slow roll, get it up there like that. So that absolutely will work up there as well. I like that as well. So nice in that regard. What else are we going to talk about? The lock thing, the pin here as well. that works really nicely. It does disengage, and you can absolutely kind of open and close it like that. So you have multiple open and closing. I like that. Blade, nicely centered, beautifully centered. You see, and it goes all the way down here. So blade to handle ratio is absolutely all the way to the very tip. Really wonderful. Well, great utilization. Like that a lot. All right, so let's do some measurements on this guy real quick. Where's my scale? Where are you, scale? Oh, here you are. Underneath stuff. I put stuff on top of the scale. That's not good. And I think I'm going to guess 4.5 ounces, 4.5, 4.1 ounces. So it's not too terrible. It's got a little bit of weight to it. It's not a small knife, I will tell you that. This is not a little itty bitty knife. Let's go ahead and measure the overall length on this knife. I'll show you why. I think we're close to 8 or a little above it. Let's see. We're really close to 8. We're right at 8, and I want to say 8 3/4. So it's just under 8. It's a good size. I don't know if I'd call it a full size. It's just under a full size, maybe a larger medium-sized knife. So there you go. Handle, the grip-wise, if you use this first little indention right here, you've got about 3.5 inches over. But if you use the full finger choil, which I think makes perfect sense, you're about 4 3/4 inch of a hand. So that works really well for hands. Like I said, I got big, meaty hands, meaty fingers with a large hand. And so I've got plenty of room here. So if you've got extra large, double extra, triple extra large, meaty finger hands, you're going to have tons of room. This is going to work really well for big and little hands. All right, blade length-wise, looking at 3.5 from the tip back, but actual cutting length, we're right at, are we just under 3 inches? I think we are. We're about, I want to say 2 15/16 of an inch is the overall cutting length. All right, so let's look at the blade stock thickness. Let me get my caliber here. Like I said, I thought it was about maybe 120, 110, 120 thousandths. We'll get that measurement here in just a second. Let's see if I was close. 125 thousandths of an inch. All right, so I was a little short, about 125 thousandths of an inch, 125.5, so 126 thousandths of an inch. So a fairly normal blade stock thickness you get in a knife, which is pretty sturdy, works really well. Now it does go to a thin tip. Don't be using that to pry. Again, use the right tool for the right job. Have a pry bar if you're going to be prying. Knife is not a pry tool. Anyways. All right, so what category does this fall into? This is going to be right at, it's going to be right at the top end of the regular knife, at least the pre-order was, or right at the bottom end of the high-end knife. So it's right around $300. I think that's what it was. I think the silver one was right under $300. I think it was like $270 or I can't remember, but it was just under $300. I suspect when you have the drop, it's going to give you the full non-pre-order discounted rate. You're looking at something like this. I'm going to guess $330, $335, and that definitely puts it into the very low end of the higher end knife. And I'm guessing the Silver Surfer, the all non-blacked out one, the full plain tie, plain steel, that one's probably going to be around. I'm going to guess 305, 315. This is my guess. If it's lower, great, but that's just my guess. I don't know. He hasn't dropped them yet. But I think that's a good price for this knife. Everything that you get, you're getting really nicely, there's a lot of details that cost. You get hollow grind. You get this beautiful chamfering. Even up here, there's no sharp edges anywhere. Rounded corners, you got a milled titanium clip, got beautiful, any sharp edges. All those little touches cost. They cost, okay? Milling on the inside, great weight relief. You got a captive pivot. You got a little extra lasered stash on there. You've got a button frame lock. All that, a beautiful full back spacer. Really nice. All those things add up, and that takes time. And then this beautiful diamond textured pattern, really, really nice. I like that. It gives you good grip, good texture. You're not going to drop this knife. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. So EDC, hard use, collection piece, absolutely can be a collection piece. This price range, anything can be a collection piece. Whether it's a Safe Queen or a user collection piece, that's up to you, right? I use every knife that I own, so when I get mine in, I'm going to use it. I'm going to carry it. Now, will I go out and abuse and beat it up? Probably not, because I don't do that. I have work knives. I have like an 80 20.5. That's a 3V. Love using that in the yard. It's a sheep's foot or Tonto. No, that's the Tonto one. And I like using that one in the yard. It's a hard beat up kind of user kind of knife. So I like that one for that. So there you go. This one definitely I think is a little nicer. It's kind of like a stash. It's got a nice look to it. So I think this is a great knife. Hard use, I think absolutely for frame lock. Just remember, right tool for right job. Use a fixed blade if you're going to be doing whacking on logs and cutting trees and all sorts of stuff. But this will absolutely be hard use. Breaking boxes, cutting things around the house, different things that you're doing. I think this could absolutely work well. And obviously it's EDC. I think it's meant to be EDC carry all the time. overall, let's do the overall feel. Overall design, handles open and close. There's no lanyard loop, which is fine with me. I don't mind that. Some of you guys might be disappointed. I'm sorry. But open and closing is fantastic. You've got front flipping. You've got the thumb hole that you can reverse flick, thumb that you can forward flick. You've got a button lock that you can use the frame lock to disengage and engage it, right? And not only does that open it, but it also closes it. Not only can you close it, you can close it right here. And the nice thing is that finger choil drops down, so you're not going to guillotine on your finger. You're nice and clear when it drops. So if I'm opening this and I do that and I drop it, I'm catching on my finger. No damage to my finger. I like that. It's something I really appreciate because I fidget with my knives a lot. And I don't want to have to worry about dropping it and always worrying about getting cut. So there is that. So the opening, closing, the texturing, the diamond texture is fantastic. The roundness, the corners, all the details, simply outstanding. I think that's just really, really outstanding. The weight is fantastic for as big as this knife is. I mean, it's not a small boy. It's a big knife. It definitely can be a user. You could do a lot of things with this. So I think that's all great. Overall feel, I love it. I love the opening and closing on the overall feel. It's super fidgety. Super awesome. Yeah, I don't have any issues with this. I can fidget with this all day long. Love that. I mean, I can slow roll it. I can even slow roll that. I can slow roll the front flip, which I love. I love the fact that you can slow roll that. So it just gives you options. To me, that's just a fun fidgety thing for someone like me. All right, what's the fidget factor on this one? Man, all right, so you got the flipper, you've got the front flipper, you've got the knuckle flipper, you've got the thumb hold, you've got the reverse, you've got the left and the right hand. You've got the button to disengage. Oops, let's do that. And to open, sorry. Let me do that again. I don't hit the ground. And then close. So you've got multiple stuff on here. This one gets into, the only thing it's missing is a flipper, but you make up for it for that. So this is a 9 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. This really is a 9 out of 10 and because of all the things you can do. It just doesn't quite hit the 10 because there's you need that wackadoodle extra stuff in there, but 9 out of 10, I don't give many knives that high. I've rarely given anybody a 10 out of 10, but this one definitely gets a 9 out of 10 for sure. It's super fidgety. I might even give it a 9.4. I mean, it's so close to a 10. I don't know. Yeah, it's just super fidgety. I love it. It's such, it fits Cole's personality too for his, if you know Cole, he's hyper. He's full of energy. This is a knife that makes you feel like it's full of energy. It's just useful all day long. I can just sit here, fidget with this all day long. I actually did. When I got it in, I sat on the table, in the couch, just fidgeting a little bit. It's just really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah, so what is the fidgety goodness out of everything? Everything that I use, oh, by the way, there's no really, you can't see it's like cut out, but the chamfering is generous on both sides. Really, really generous, and it's all the way up. And when you put your thumb, big old meaty finger get in there, I can disengage that lock bar. The lock bar disengages from the tang of the blade effortlessly. It's not like I'm trying to get my big old meaty finger squeezed into a really tight spot to open it. It's super easy. Super, super, super easy. If you're not going to cut it a little way and give extra room, generous chamfers like this. These are really, really, really generous chamfers. And I love that. It allows easy access to the lock bar. So that to me is outstanding. That speaks to its fidgety goodness. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I wanted to point out, I'm going to give this 100%. This is just a fun knife. It's not uncomfortable to disengage. Sometimes you can get really high A and just, the disengagement kind of is just not quite there. And this, when I unlock it, it's nice. It's just nice. So 100%. So is the knife recommended? Well, guess what? Yeah, 100% recommended. Yeah, if you can get a hold of one of these, I hope he makes some more runs. I don't know if BladeBinge, he's partnering up with BladeBinge. Hopefully they have some more in the works. This is just a really nice knife. I highly recommend it. I'm sure some of you guys would like to see some different blade shapes maybe. Some of you guys may not be Wharncliffe, sheepsfoot, reverse Tonto, modified, whatever this blade shape is. I get it, and that's fine. But I think he's doing some budget models for 2025 maybe, so those are some things to look for. This is definitely a little pricier. We're looking at a $300 range here, maybe a little under for the pre-order. And then once he does the drops, I'm guessing it's going to be 300 or above. I can't see everything that's done to this knife, how you can get under that for a production run of this knife. I hope they do another run because it's cool. It's a cool knife. All right. Very, very, very cool knife. So it's definitely recommended. Yeah. Oh, let's do some close-up shots here real quick so you guys can see it. Oops. All right, so here we are. Zoom in. There's the hollow grind. You can see that. Beautiful Wharncliffe right there. You see that? Nice. There's the thumb hole. And there's the Tristache, the little stash. You got the beautiful texture on here. And here's all the roundedness all around. It's rounded here. And then this little extra chamfering right by the finger choil. Love, love, love that. Plenty of room for sharpening right there, right? Even in the top, there's no sharpness. It's almost crowned, but it's beautifully taken care of. There's a little swedge up here. Decorative swedge. Some people call it decorative. It's actually functional. It's big enough to actually be functional depending on your cut, right? It's flat right here, but the hollow grind gives you a nice, super thin edge. You get the nice pokey tip, get into your dog food, fertilizer, cat food, mulch, for whatever you need to, Amazon boxes. Again, you can see here's the lock bar that disengages. You can see how it disengages the frame lock right there. You see that? And then jimping all the way on top here, nice back spacer all the way extended, gives you some texture in there. And again, that roundedness going on to onto the actual, come on, zoom in here. Roundedness that goes on into the actual, why are you not zooming? Come on, into the actual scale right there. All right, let's look back here. Then you've got the nice clip, mill clip, beautiful little in and out ramp. It's got a little flexibility. This is taken care of, no chamfering right there. I think that's really nice. Then you got the frame lock right here, engaged. And I think we're probably good 50%, 45% right here, I think. Right, again, that chamfering. It is a captive pivot right here, T8 all the way around, T8, 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 T8. And then over here, you've got T8, T8, nothing, right? And then you've got minimal hardware. I mean, there's no, I don't see anything, any words anywhere. Here's the back part right here. Even this is kind of chamfered right here. It's nice. Got plenty of room to get some, some traction, but it's really nice. Then you've got the decorative chamfer, and then you've got this nice hollow grind, super thin edge, right? All right, let's zoom out. Let's get our overall picture right here. Come on, zoom in for me. Here we go. I want to get a nice little shot here, a little thumbnail shot, so you can kind of see what's going on here. Beautiful knife. There you go. All right, let's do the back. The clip and everything. I think it's a really nice knife. Yeah, all right. Very, very good. Zoom in for me. Please zoom in. Come on. Are you zoomed? Why are you not zooming? Zoom for me. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. All right. So, all right, that's definitely recommended knife. If you can get a hold of it on the secondary market, I would. If you get one of those, if they drop it again, you get a drop, definitely go for it. I highly recommend this knife. If you already pre-ordered it, I think you're going to be super excited. I think you're going to be super happy with this. I am. I'm super happy. Makes me really happy with my pre-order for sure. So that's the Tristache, designed by Cole in partnership with BladeBinge. BladeBinge, it'll be selling on BladeBinge when they do have a drop, if they have some extra inventory. Definitely a cool knife. The OEM is Bestech, and this prototype is outstanding. Fantastic. So I'm assuming the production version is going to be almost identical to this. I can't see much of anything that would really need to be done on this. Really, to me, it's very minimal. If I had a request, it would be this. But the aesthetic, it matches, right? So I get it. I get it. I understand why they did it. All right, very, very cool. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting that like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting that subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the channel really helps me out. It allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone who watches the videos, who likes the videos, who enjoys the content, who's a subscriber, who's part of the live stream, part of the community. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you haven't already, hit that notification button down below as well so you can be notified of future content like this video. And a big shout out to all my channel members out there. I sure do appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel and supporting me. You guys encourage me sometimes when I need the encouragement. So thank you. And then also, you allow me to do things way sooner than I ever thought I'd be able to do. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. As a small way for me to say thank you, I do a once a month members. I do two things. Well, first, I do a once a month members exclusive giveaway, not just a budget banger, but a nicer knife. I give that away. So keep an eye out for that if you're a member. That will be something I do each month. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had a phone call and it stopped the video. All right, so I don't exactly know where I'm at, so I'm going to kind of start over here. All right, so a big shout out to all my channel members. I do, like I said, I'd like to mail you a sticker if you're a channel member and you're currently one. I haven't mailed you a sticker before, so email me with your name and address. Love to mail you that sticker. Well, thank you note. It's just my way to say thank you to you guys because of all you do. So thank you. Thank you. Appreciate everyone out there. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.